Tonight we are talking about bad mothers on Mother's Day. A touchy subject, but one that needs to be acknowledged. Tonight we will be talking to Lillian about how bad mothers affect their children.
Thank you, Mark. When talking about bad mothers, one needs to realize that bad mothers do exist. From mother-daughter sexual abuse, two examples from cinema come to mind. One is the movie Precious, which is about a young woman who is a victim of sexual as well as mental, emotional and physical abuse said by her mother. In the movie Black Swan shows several signs of mother-daughter sexual abuse, which includes boundary issues, emotional enmeshment by not allowing the daughter to form her own complete self, which is also known as codependency.
Wait, Lillian, so you're saying that mothers sexually abuse their daughters?
Yes, Mark, it does happen, unfortunately. Girls are the majority of the victim. It flies in the face of feminism because feminism teaches that men are the only predatory people in our culture. When presented with statistics about how women are in fact in contact with children more than men, women can and are the perpetrators as well as men and get away with inappropriate touching because of the caregiver roles that mothers have. So a lot of things that should be reported if a man had touched a child doesn't because mom just like to make sure that the young woman is so apping up correctly in the shower, or she's just concerned about a young woman's sexual well-being by interrogated as to why a young woman has sexy underwear, her laundry, or who a young woman has sex with, or why a young woman would have sex. But these valid concerns are grossly violated in situations because of the mother's unhealthy sexual connotations towards their daughters.
So you're saying that a mother would be that obsessive about what type of underwear their daughters wear? Let me ask you something. Would the underwear freak out? Did you personally know of any young woman that had to deal with that?
Yes, actually. I know of a young woman who purposely didn't buy sexy underwear for years because she didn't want to deal with her mother's interrogation as to why she is having sex. This young woman was in her 20s, mind you.
Ridiculous. How is the young woman doing with a creepy mother? Is she doing okay?
The young woman is doing just fine. I hear she bought all the lacy and string underwear she could get her hands on. She went to therapy and is under orders from her therapist to stay away from her mother.
I'm glad to hear she's doing okay. Now I am somewhat familiar with personality disorders and how borderline and narcissistic personality disorders really take a toll on both young children and adult children. Could you elaborate on those two personalities for the audience?
Sure, Mark. With borderline personality disorder, the child will feel like they are literally walking on eggshells, which is a metaphor for people with BPD and the title of a great book by Randy Krieger and Paul T. Mason Ems. That anyone dealing with this should read if they are dealing with a mother like this. A few of the signs to look out for is black and white thinking, which is how children generally think, abandonment, sensitivity, and intense and frequent mood changes. With narcissistic personality disorder, a few things to watch for is feeling entitlement for things not earned, insensitivity to others' needs and lack of empathy. Both of these personalities traits are extremely harmful because the child will walk away thinking that they must jump through hoops to please their mothers, or be very quiet and withdrawn because of an emotionally unstable mother that will flip out on the child for the slightest of offenses, usually imaginary.
Well, Lillian, thank you so much for sharing your information about bad mothers. Are there any resources that daughters of bad mothers can utilize?
Yes, there are, Mark. For more information and learning about personality disorders, anyone interested can log on to http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/dsm-iv_codes to learn about these and many other mental illnesses. For online counseling and other therapy needs, go to http://counselingresource.com/ and concerning MTSA and more information, check out http://mtsajapur.homestead.com/mtsa.html. Thank you for having me on, Mark. I am glad that I was able to share some information about bad mothers, especially on a holiday such as Mother's Day, where a lot of daughters and sons don't have a good mother to celebrate this day with. This show is dedicated to those who have horrid mothers and fell bombarded by this Hallmark-induced holiday.
Thank you, Lillian, for sharing links that could possibly help anyone watching the video. Thanks for watching and good night, everyone.